What's up, nerds? Welcome back. It's Noah, and we are continuing our Thorgan story. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am running a solo campaign with ChatGPT as the DM, and this is our dwarf cleric Thorgan, who is getting ready to go off on his first adventure with a party. If you've missed out on everything so far, you can either click the link up there and then head on over to the first episode in this series, or you can listen to this little recap. Thorgan is a devout cleric to Moradin and is here in Baldur's Gate looking for a party to adventure with so that he can do some good in the world. He is feeling a little vengeful because of the death of his family to a horde of goblins, but wants to do right by the world and protect those who cannot protect themselves, heal the weak, all that good cleric goodness. Now, if you did watch his first episode, you would know that Thorgan found a party and kind of put them through the paces to find out if they were actually good people. They met some people that Lyrian and the rest of the party had helped, and yeah, Thorgan decided to hop on board and crashed for the night, and that is where we are picking up, so let's get into it. I go to sleep and rest deeply, happy that I finally found a purpose to move towards, and good people to do it with.
The next morning, you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. As you make your way down to the common area, you see Lyrian and the rest of the party gathered around a table, discussing something in hushed tones.
Good morning, Thorgan.
Lyrian greets you with a nod.
We were just discussing our next adventure. We have received word that a small village is being plagued by a strange illness that has been spread throughout the area. The villagers are in desperate need of assistance and, well, we're hoping to be able to help. He goes on to explain that the illness seems to be magical in nature and is affecting both humans and animals alike. The villagers have tried everything they can, but can't cure it. Nothing's worked. As a cleric of Moradin, you might be our best hope at finding a solution. I'm here and ready to go. How far is the village? The village is a few days' journey to the northwest of here. We'll have to pass through some dangerous territory, but with you by our side, I have no doubt that we'll make it safely.
He goes on to explain that the group has already made some preparations, secured supplies for the journey. They have also gathered some information about the area and the illness plaguing the village.
If you're ready to set out as soon as possible, the villagers are counting on us. ChatGPT will do this sometimes where it kind of grazes over the details, which I don't mind actually, because it still leaves you room to ask questions if you want to. So we didn't have to just straight up leave. I can ask something like, well, what do they say about the illness?
Lyrian explains that the villagers have reported that the illness causes a variety of symptoms, including fever, weakness, and disorientation. Some have also reported seeing strange visions and hearing voices in their heads.
The local healers and wise men have tried everything they can think of to try to cure the illness, including various potions, herbs, and magical spells, but nothing seems to work. We're not sure what's causing it, but we suspect that we might be linked to some kind of dark magic or curse.
He adds that the group received a small payment in advance from the villagers and that they will receive a larger reward if they're able to find the cure to this illness.
We're not just doing this for the money, though. We really believe that it's the right thing to do, and we hope that you can help us make a difference. These guys are selling the fact that they're good guys a little hard, but that's okay. They probably think that I'm a little zealous and untrusting, which is true, to be honest. Well, let's set off then. We'll want to travel quickly if people are sick.
The group gathers their gear and sets off towards the village. The journey is not without its dangers as they navigate through the rugged terrain and fend off attacks from various beasts along the way. As they draw near to the village, they can see that they're in a state of chaos. Many of the buildings are abandoned, and the ones that are occupied are filled with the sick and dying villagers. The air is thick with the smell of illness, and you can hear the sound of coughing and moaning from all around. The group is quickly escorted to the village elder, who is grateful for their arrival. She explains that the illness seems to be spreading rapidly and that the villagers are growing desperate.
We've tried everything we can think of, but nothing seems to work. We need your help, please. Whatever it takes.
I do have some healing magic, but it most likely is going to be a temporary fix. I can only help so many as well, so take me to those most in need. I'm thinking I can use my channel divinity to heal like 5 hit points of health to 3 people, and then also I have like 4 castings of cure wounds, which might be able to help, but they've already tried healing magic. The best I think I can do is really like restore some of their hit points for a while, and then they're just going to get worse over time, but at least maybe I can save those most sick and then maybe even cast Spare the Dying or something. Anyways, I want to be of help to them, but I don't know how valuable my help's going to be.
The village elder leads you and the rest of your group to the makeshift infirmary where most of the severely affected villagers are being cared for. The scene is grim, with many of the patients writhing in agony and delirium. The healers are doing their best to ease their suffering, but it's clear that they are overwhelmed. As you approach, you can feel the weight of responsibility as the cleric of Moradin. You take a deep breath, focus your thoughts on your deity, calling upon his power to aid you in this time of need. You begin to administer healing magic to the patients one by one. Some respond well to the ministrations, while others continue to suffer. It becomes clear to you that this illness is no ordinary disease and that you will need to take more than just healing magic to cure it.
I turn to the village elder and the healers. I'll need to examine the source of this illness if I have any chance of overcoming it. Do you have any idea where it might be coming from?
The village elder nods gravely in response to your question.
We don't know for sure, but there have been rumors of strange happenings in the nearby forest. Some say that a group of dark cultists have taken up residence there, and they might be responsible for the illness.
She adds that several scouting parties have been sent out to the forest, but none have returned. The villagers are too sick and weak to mount proper defenses. They're at a loss at what to do next.
So I'm excited to help, but I need to rest as I'm assuming I've used up all of my spell slots, at least my first level spell slots in my channel divinity. And we came here at the end of a long day of travel. So now that I've kind of like staved off death for some of these folk, I think it's okay to ask for a rest. I turn to the elder again. I will do my best, but I must admit, using all of my magic has left me drained. If I could rest for the night, me and my group will be better prepared to confront these forest cultists and see if they are in fact the reason for all of this.
The group is led to a spare house where they can rest and recover. During their rest, you hear villagers talking about the cultists and their dark magic, and how they've been causing trouble in the area for some time. They seem to be very secretive and dangerous as a group, and many of the villagers are afraid to even speak their name. As you close your eyes and rest, you think about what lies ahead of you, the dangers that await you in the forest. You pray to Moradin for guidance, strength, and hope that your group is able to find a way to stop the cultists and save the villagers from the grip of this dark magic.
Well, after a long rest, I wake up before everybody else does and say a prayer over them while they sleep. I don my armor and wait for them to wake.
As you stand there gazing at your companions as they sleep, you feel a sense of camaraderie and purpose that you have not felt for a long time. You offer a silent prayer to Moradin, thanking him for bringing you together with this group, for giving you the opportunity to serve and protect those in need. As the rest of the party begins to stir and wake, you can see the determination and the focus in their eyes. They are ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, and they know they can count on you to lead them.
I don't know if I'm here to lead anybody, but I can definitely throw some spells, throw some hammer down, and maybe hit some people with some healing.
Lyrian approaches you.
Thorgan, we are ready to go whenever you are. Are you rested and ready to face the cultists? I nod. I'm ready. Let's head into the forest and put an end to this.
Party gathers their gear and sets out towards the forest, ready to face whatever dangers await them.
Before leaving, I look to the elder. Is someone here in the village who is well enough to show us where these cultists are?
The elder nods.
Yes, there's one of our villagers, a young man named Han. He has been showing signs of improvement. He knows the forest well and can guide you to the cultist's hideout.
She adds that Tarn is eager to help in any way that he can, and that he's been asking to speak with you since you've arrived. He has information that could be useful to you. Perhaps you could speak to him before you set out. The elder leads you and your group to a small cottage on the outskirts of the village where Tarn is waiting for you. He looks pale and weak, but his eyes are bright and alert.
Thank you for coming.
He says,
I have information I think could be useful to you. I used to be a member of the cult, you see. I joined them hoping to learn more about their ways and magic, but I soon realized that they were not what they seemed.
He goes on to explain that the cultists are led by a powerful sorcerer who goes by the name of Zarathos. They have been using dark magic to summon demons and other foul creatures.
And it is this magic that is causing the illness and is plaguing the village. They're very dangerous, and they don't hesitate to kill anyone that gets in their way. But if you're willing to take the risk, I can lead you to their hideout. It's deep in the heart of the forest and heavily guarded, but I know a secret way in. Suspicious. A little suspicious. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Either he's telling the truth or he's not. And as long as he can get us there, who really cares? I'll accept his offer, but I'm gonna have to put him on notice a little bit. Well, it seems as though you've been a part of the problem, so it seems only appropriate that you'd be a part of the solution. You will take us as close to this Zarathos as you can. Wear whatever weapon and armor you have. If what you say is true, you may have a fight on your hands. And if it's false, I guarantee you will. I understand. I will do whatever it takes to make up for my mistake and help you put an end to all this madness.
He leads you and your group to the edge of the village, where the forest begins. The air is thick with the stench of decay and corruption, and the trees loom ominously overhead. Tarn leads you through the dense undergrowth, moving swiftly and silently, following hidden trails through the forest. After several hours of travel, you arrive at a clearing and a large stone structure stands.
This is it. The cultists' hideout. They're heavily guarded, but I know a way that they won't expect.
He leads you through a small crevasse in the side of a structure, hidden by the view of thick vines and underbrush.
This is the way in. Follow me closely.
As you and your group slip through the crevasse, Tarn leads you through a winding tunnel that eventually opens up into a larger chamber. You see several cultists gathered around the central altar, chanting and performing a dark ritual. Tarn turns to you.
Zarathos is behind that door. Be careful. He's very powerful. Okay, I think it's time to throw down. I wanted to have a conversation, but I think we have confirmation that these are either the bad guys or that homie that came with us is the bad guy. Either way, we will clean up shop if possible. I look to the party. So what's the plan? Do we just bust down the door? Do we try to talk to Zarathos? What do you think?
Lyrian speaks up.
I think we should take them by surprise. Tarn said that they won't be expecting us, so we should be at our advantage. Maybe we can take out some of the cultists before they even know we're here. What about Zarathos? One of the other party members asked. I interject. We'll deal with him once we've taken out his minions. Let's move quietly and quickly. Lyrian, you and I will take out the cultists on the left. The rest of you, the ones on the right. Let's do this.
The party nods in agreement, and they move silently, weapons at the ready as they approach the cultists and try to catch them by surprise. The closer you get to Zarathos' chamber, the more you hear chanting from within. Lyrian takes a position on the side that you said, while the others head in the other direction. As soon as there's motion, a barrage of spell and arrows start flying. As the battle rages on, the party and cultists exchange the first round of blows, with you standing ready to move. What do you do on your turn?
Thorgan moves forward towards the nearest cultist and swings his hammer. I don't know how quietly things are happening in this combat, and I don't want to start blowing up spells if we can keep the big bad in the room for right now. Okay, roll for the attack. I roll an 18, that hits for 7 damage. Okay, alright.
Your warhammer slams into the cultist's chest, dealing a heavy blow and sending him reeling backwards. He looks hurt, but manages to stay on his feet. The other cultists turn their attention towards you, and one of them unleashes a dark energy bolt towards you. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
I rolled a 6.
The bolt of dark energy slams into you, dealing 6 points of necrotic damage, and you feel the energy sapping your strength and vitality. One of the other cultists casts a spell, and the beam of searing light streaks towards you. Roll a constitution save.
13.
You manage to resist the worst of the searing light, taking only half damage. You take 4 points radiant damage. As the cultists continue their barrage of spells, you feel your resolve harden. You are cleric of Moradin, and you will not let these cultists get the better of you. After the rest of the party takes their turns, firing off spells, shooting arrows, and swinging swords, it is your turn again. What do you do?
I will cast Spiritual Weapon with my bonus action and have it attack one of the cultists, and then I'll use my action to swing my Warhammer again at the nearest cultist to me.
Thorgan channels his divine energy and summons a spiritual weapon, which takes form as a glowing warhammer made of pure energy. The weapon hovers in the air next to the cultist who attack Thorgan, and with a mighty swing it slams into the cultist, dealing 7 force damage. With his bonus action taken care of, Thorgan faces the nearest cultist and swings his warhammer. Roll the attack.
An 18 to hit.
The warhammer strikes the cultist, dealing a solid hit. Roll for damage.
5 damage. Okay.
The warhammer slams into the cultist's chest, causing him to stagger backwards. He looks hurt badly, but manages to stay on his feet. As the battle continues to rage on and your companions fire off their spells and arrows, you see the cultists that were attacking you fall to their knees. The chamber is quiet once more. Heavy breathing, faint whispers. As the last cultist falls, you hear a deep voice calling from the shadows.
Impressive. But you're not done yet.
Out steps Zarathos, his eyes glowing with unholy light. He raises his arm and you can feel dark energy gathering around him.
You have no idea what you're meddling with. The power I serve is far beyond your understanding. It will claim you in the end.
Zarathos unleashes a wave of dark energy towards the party. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
That's a straight roll. 17.
You manage to narrowly dodge out of the way of Zarathos' dark energy wave. However, some of your party members weren't as lucky. 3 of them failed their dex saves, taking
18 necrotic damage each as the energy slams into them.
Zarathos then charges towards you, his weapon raised, a look of pure malice in his eyes.
You will die, cleric. Your god can't save you from me.
Roll initiative to determine turn order.
Oh my goodness, what an episode. Yeah, we're gonna have to finish that combat with the BBG, later. That's fantastic. What a freaking episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all the support. Most of all, thank you to Dakota Copeland and Zach Schwartz, my 2 Patreons right now. If you want to join them and get a shout out as well, my Patreon's down there below, or if you want to throw me a coffee, buy me a coffee. And as always, if you want to continue watching cool stuff like this and watching me play with ChatGPT and tabletop games, then you know what? Subscribe. Just do it. It's fun. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Just make a mage hand out of the like button right there. And yeah, we will see you next time. I'm having a lot of fun, and every week is such a pleasure. This is my fun time, and I hope it's yours too. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.